Caught Behind the Mic with Yannick Leonard. Real talk, raw stories through the mic.
Welcome to Caught Behind the Mic with Yannick Leonard. Today we have a special guest, Recordo Gordon, former Warwickshire player. Just want to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, honoured to be on here. Yannick's doing some great work with it. Yeah, as he said, Recordo Gordon, former Warwickshire pro, part of the NatWest T20 Blast Champions 2014. Second place runners-up in the championship as well in 2012. So yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, so today we're just going to kick it off just to have an icebreaker. Going to have like a blind ranking. Know you're an all-rounder.
Okay.
So just going to call random names and you rank them 1 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with...
Is 1 being the best and 5 being the worst?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So first name I'm going to call Andre Russell.
Oh, is this like for any format or just wherever?
Yeah, just where you ranked him as a all-rounder.
Maybe is it number 1 for
Number
me?
1 for you.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, Dwayne Bravo.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a number 2.
Number 2. Okay. I'm gonna take it international now. How about Mitch Marsh?
3.
3. Fair enough. Ben Stokes.
1.
You don't already have Russell at 1.
Oh,
that's where the Burnham ranking comes in.
Okay. So I can't give Stokes a 4. How can I give Stokes a 4?
That's the blind ranking.
Should have thought about that, shouldn't I?
Jump off the bat. You could never start off with the number 1 at number 1.
Yeah. So all right, then Stokes is gonna have to get number 4. Sorry, Stokesy.
That's fine. Who we're gonna go with next? Pollard.
He's gonna get number 5. Yeah, he's getting number 5.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about how you fall in love with the game, how you fall in love with cricket, and
yeah. So born in the 90s, right? Early 90s, 91.
91, same as me.
Yeah. Grew up in Jamaica first. My formative years was in Jamaica. So growing up through cricket at that time, cricket's a massive thing in Jamaica. So that's where I fell in love with it. Growing up, West Indies was still in the prime at that time, or just coming out their prime. Brian Lara was just coming in. And you had Walsh and Ambrose dominating world cricket with the way how they were bowling. So cricket was a massive part of my upbringing.
Yeah.
My dad played, cousins played, so it was always in and around the home.
So, as you say, you started off playing cricket in Jamaica at a young age. Like, what was the process? Like, start off in primary school, kiddies cricket, and those kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I grew up in the rural parts of Jamaica, so we always were playing together with the cousins. So we all lived on one big plot of land. So you always had someone to play with. So I was always playing with my cousins. And then I played primary school. And then from there, I moved to the UK and then carried cricket in my heart from then.
Okay. And how has you find your journey moving to England and playing cricket, carrying on your cricketing journey?
It was a bit difficult at the start because, like I said, growing up in rural Jamaica, you had a lot of freedom, a lot of space. So then when I moved to the UK, that was quite hard because then you have the seasonalities to cope with. So when you get the winter months, it was quite a big challenge there.
Yeah.
And then not being around as many people. So that was a bit difficult. But then as I transitioned through the years, then I went county trials. Didn't quite know what it was all about. I just loved the game. And then I got in when I was about 15 years old, got into Warwickshire when I was 15. And then from there, my journey kicked on.
Okay, that's good. And how has being in the professional setup to just back home, how has you seen that transition? Like the structure, how is the structure compared to back in the Caribbean?
Yeah, it's a lot more formal, right? And there's a lot more support. That obviously this is no disrespect to West Indies cricket, but the way it is in England, there is a clear pathway system.
Yep.
So when you look at it from, like I said, I came in at under 15s, then I played county cricket 15s, and then I got pushed up 2 years when I was 15 to play 17s. and then I had an injury which made me miss out of a year or so, and then
Just to pause you there, where you say you had an injury, how was it being dealt with you being in the professional setup? Was there being taken care and stuff?
yeah, so it was taken care of by the medical staff. So when I became a pro at 19, so I was affiliated with a club, which was Moser Cricket Club. The club we're sat here right now is Handsworth Cricket Club. This is where I started, but I had to leave this cricket club and go play Moser Cricket Club, which was in a higher
Higher
division.
division, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially being in the professional setup, you need to play a
Yes,
higher
you
standard
had to
of
be
cricket.
playing a
Yeah.
higher standard of cricket. So whenever I got injured, the county, because of the medical insurance that we're on, they took care of everything for me, ensure that I was capable of bouncing back and coming back to the field of play.
And how have you feel like after the injury? Has you been better, or it hamper your career going forward?
Yeah, so the injury I had, my first major one was a stress fracture. So that one didn't hinder me as much because I learned a lot about my body. I learned what it required to be a professional athlete. So then I went away and done a bit more research on how and why these things happen. Then I got the remedial work done on my action to make sure that it's a bit more preventative and a bit more efficient. So after that, that was fine. And then I had a few more major injuries, which I had to have a few major operations. So when you have major operations, you know, your body
Yeah.
takes a bit of a while for soft tissue to come back. So, but the support from the county was great in terms of the physio and the checkups with the specialist doctors and things like that. So that made me a whole lot more secure to know that I was in a good place to be able to get my body to a point where I can get back to elite performance.
Yeah, yeah. All right, moving forward from there. So how have you grown into becoming an all-rounder? Who was like your mentor, your idol growing up?
So like I said, when I was younger, I always loved watching Brian Lara bat.
Yeah.
So when I was young, it was a case of you're both fast, so you don't need to bat. But when I got onto the staff at Warwickshire and I seen how everything was happening, it was just like, well, I just want to be a fast bowler, right? I love batting, and one of the things was my dad used to play. My dad used to be an all-rounder, so that was the first initial influence I had
Yeah.
on being able to impact the game on both sides with the bat and the ball. So when I got into the Warwickshire staff, I worked really hard on my batting to make sure that I can contribute to the team, not only with the bat, not only with the ball, sorry, but with the bat, and then making sure that obviously your fielding is a given. So that was one of the things. My dad was my first one, and then Brian Lara, seeing how he went about his batting. So I
Batting,
always
yeah.
wanted to bat like Lara. Which kid in the early 90s
90s,
didn't want
yeah.
to bat like Brian Lara,
That's
right?
so true,
So
yeah.
so that was my first influence about batting.
Okay, cool. So I know now you're past the professional career now,
Yeah.
and now you're into at the club now where we're
Yeah.
at Handsworth Cricket
Yeah.
Club. So what's your role here at the cricket club now?
So I'm currently the club chair.
Yeah.
So part of that was, like I said to you, this is where I started, right? So my mission and my objective about coming back to the club where it started for me was there has to be another young person, right, who's coming from an inner city part or urban areas within Birmingham who would love to play a high level of cricket like what I aspired to do, but then it's quite difficult for them to leave the north side to go all the way to the south side if they don't have the means of doing that, well, the financial means of doing so. So the whole point was to build this club to the point where it is more established and respected, so that those kids don't have to leave.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. As you always try to give back, especially being a professional, you always try to give back and try to help bring the youngsters through the pathway and share your knowledge that you gain from being a professional, because it's totally different from being a professional and just being a regular
Recreational
cricketer.
yeah.
Because there's so much you have to do. Is you gotta be you have to want it and have the passion and the drive and the urge for it as well.
Yeah.
So that's with you doing that now for the club and giving back is amazing stuff. You just got to continue and carry it on, man. Like
Yeah.
that's something that I think a lot more professional cricketers need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's lacking, especially back home in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I can see, like, a part of my journey as well, to elaborate on that Caribbean point. Like when I got released from Warwickshire in 2016, I went out to Jamaica to play. and it was like a massive difference. So by the time I got there, the professionalism, that like even the simple things of being able to use a sidearm, not a lot of the pros were capable of doing it. Not to knock the coaches too much, but not even a lot of the coaches at that time were doing it. So it was just like, whoa, it was a massive difference. So,
so that's just to stop you there. Like, dude, that's a perfect example because at that time, that's 2016, you said.
yeah,
That was literally 2 years into the professional franchise setup in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and they're so behind. Even now, 10 years later, they're still so behind when it comes to being a professional environment.
yes.
Like as you
Yes.
said, coaches and stuff was not using sidearm and stuff like that. Simple stuff you can't get a nets to use and those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And those are stuff is being carried on until this day.
Yeah.
And in the Caribbean, professional setup has been going for 10 plus years now, and
Yeah.
it still can't get it
Yeah.
right. So I just feel like it needs to
Progress
and-
rapidly. It needs to progress, and the
that's
mindsets need to shift. I think.
Yep.
I think the mindsets needs to shift. I think we still have that mindset that if you're a batter, you bat, and if you're a bowler, you bowl. And then, like, to enhance West Indies cricket, you can see all the other Test nations in the top 5. They're lower order bat. No one call it the tail anymore. It's the
Wow.
lower order batters. With the way in which cricket is evolving, the lower order for many of our competitors, especially the West Indies competitors, they can all bat. You see Pat Cummins, he bats at number 8, but he's a frontline fast bowler.
Yep.
You think about our fast bowler, Azari Joseph, he bats at 9. Jaden Seals, they don't really contribute as much to the game with the bat, whereas you got Pat Cummins who will contribute, Mitchell Stark will contribute. The only person that never really contributes that much is Josh Hazelwood,
Yeah.
and he bats at number 11. So you think that's when West Indies lower order is a bit too long if you pass the last recognised batter, probably that being the wicketkeeper. So I think the structure within the Caribbean, mindset shift, batters can bowl and bowlers need to bat.
Yeah.
I think that's what it needs to shift to.
Yep. Like I think like in the Caribbean we're so like 10 years behind everybody else, and that's why the cricket is where it is now, and the older generation is failing to realize that,
Yeah.
and they're quick to jump up and cuss and not find a solution to fix the problem instead of jumping up and cussing this and cussing that, and we should change this, we should change, but make some kind of effort to get it done, like not just keep saying it and not putting some kind of structure or pathway in place in order to get that going forward. And it's not going to change overnight. It's going to take 10 to 15 years. It's going to take a whole process.
Yeah, a process is important, but I
But you
feel
need
like
a short term.
Yeah, I think there's short-term things that could be implemented instantaneously, which will make wholesale changes. So, for example, one of those things are, we're both from the Caribbean, right? We're going to change it from being a parenting style, where it's do as I say, but not as I do mentality. People have changed. People have moved forward.
Yep.
So I can't be a coach in an environment and I'm out of shape. And I'm going to say, well, back in my day, I was fitter than you. No, it's not that way anymore. If you look at the England staff, the New Zealand coaches, and you look at the South African coaches, you look at the Australian coaches, they're very much involved in what they're doing. Yeah, it's not like a finger pointing job, what they're doing. They're actually they're actually in there, side arming, catching, mitting, doing everything. Jeetan Patel, Brendan McCullum, Graham Hick when he's Graham Hick for Australia. Who else? James Anderson for England. When they're all around, you don't see Jeetan Patel just stand at the back and point fingers. He's actually right. Come on then, bowler. I'm going to mitt. Okay, I finished mitting with the spinners. Right, you know what? I'm going to give some sidearm. So you see, every part of the coaching staff is very much engrossed into developing the cricket, what they're involved in. Whereas I feel like for West Indies cricket, it's more so like, right, I've got the job. I'm just going to tell you what to do, sort of thing. And I think that's where, if we shift that mindset instantaneously, get people in the job, right, who want to actually move the cricket forward, not just be there for the ego part of the job, to say I am in charge. Get rid of the I am, and let's look at how we're going to overall improve West Indian cricket.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, just like they're so. Back in the days, we used to do this. Back in the days, like we're long past that. Like West Indies cricket been on a down low from since the last 25 years, and it just keep going down and down. Like, what we're gonna do better to? It's gonna take a long-term change, but you could have a short-term change
Yes.
and leading
Yeah.
up to the long-term change. So it's just, as you say, like, you just need the right people in there with the right mindset, the young minds, and I think that's what needs to happen
Yeah.
quick and fast in the cabin. Like,
100%.
too many people been in power for 20 plus years, and they're not been doing anything, and it's just everything is just going downwards. So
I think, like you say, short term is good people in the job. Let's start it from the top down. And then when we can look at it and say, okay, grassroots level, where would we want grassroots cricket to be in the next 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
What can we do and then there will be governance, right?
Yep.
Because then it has to come from like the CARICOM, and we know our cricket isn't as straightforward as the ECB, England
Yeah,
and Wales board, where you got one governing body distributing everything. We know our cricket has to go through the CARICOM and one host of political noise before it actually gets to the people that matters.
Yeah.
So, but on the West Indies Cricketing Board level, how can we implement things to ensure that the first team and the A team and the 9 teams, both women and men's side, are progressing in line with our competitors?
Yep.
You could do that. That doesn't need CARICOM. That don't need flipping Trinidad, Barbados or Jamaica to come together to have a conversation. That's a West Indies job.
Yep, 100%. And it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's been raining
Yeah,
now
it's
for
raining.
the past couple of times,
Yeah.
minutes. So we're gonna try get out of it.
Yeah.
But it was a pleasure having you on,
Yeah,
and hopefully we could do it the next time. And maybe have a net sometime and discuss more
could chop
about
it
the
up.
cricket. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a pleasure,
definitely.
man.
Thanks, Yannick.
No
Guys,
worries.
follow my pages: GS Cricket Coaching, Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook, TikTok. Okay, be in tune. We've got some exciting things happening over there, so go check it out. Follow, share it, and
Yeah,
subscribe.
definitely.
On
We
it.
will put it in the description. So
Yeah,
we'll
thank
link
you.
it to everything.
All right. Yeah, thank you, guys.